Well, hello and welcome back to yet another incredible video. And this video I am doing in collaboration with Joy from Joyful Designs, and we are doing something called crafting the Uncle T approved way. And what that means is that we will be doing all of our DIYs by digging up into our stash. So we're taking it to the stash spot, you guys. We are going to be crafting things that we already have. So let's get into it. So I'm going to go right ahead and let you guys know that almost all of the pieces I'm doing today are going to include some form of spray paint. So we're starting off this first piece outside, spray painting some leftover frames that I had. I believe that these frames are 5x5, and I will be spray painting them white. So now that my spray paint has dried, I'm going to obviously bring them back inside and we're going to start our next part of this. I will say that these frames were rough, but that is okay with me because this is actually going to be a little bit of a rustic piece. So I've got some of those jumbo craft sticks and I'm going to go ahead and just get those basically stained just using Waverly Antique Wax. Once they are stained, I just go ahead and measure out what I'm going to need in terms of length on those, and then I just cut them down. Once I have all of the sticks I need for my 3 frames, I just go ahead and start hot gluing the sticks to the back of the frame. Once my sticks are on, I then go about making my own stencil. And you guys have seen me do this in the past. I basically make 3 stencils, and I'm going with kind of a botanical style theme. So I freehand a couple things, I use some inspiration for a couple of things, but I basically just get to the point where I have 3 kind of botanical stencils, if you will. And then you'll see me kind of lay them down and then hit it with some white paint. Okay, so the theme I'm going with these in particular is just something very kind of, again, rustic, but kind of a little bit boho, a little shabby, a little chic. So again, these aren't going to be perfect. The idea is just to kind of give the illusion of a leaf pattern or of something botanical, if that makes sense. So once my white paint has dried on all 3 of my pieces, I just grab some of that apple barrel burnt umber paint and a chip brush and just do like a weird little distressing around the outside of the frame. Again, those frames were a little bit rough. So I wanted to give them a little something to kind of make it feel and kind of sell that idea of shabby chic. Okay, so that's all for these, and you will see how I style them at the end. Well, jumping into DIY number 2, and I am going to be using, I guess it's a container or whatever, that some coasters that I had purchased for a video that I put up last week came in. Instead of just throwing it away, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna put this to use. And then I'm also gonna be using some of those stemless wine glasses that I used in a DIY video. I believe this was last month. So this is gonna be stunning, but it's gonna be incredibly easy to make. So I'm just taking that base, bottom, whatever you wanna call it, holder for those coasters, and I'm just going to start to hot glue my stemless wine glasses all around it. Now I will not be gluing glasses in the little kind of opening, and that is because when I put my light in here, that will allow me to have a place to put my cord. So once I have my first layer of glasses glued to my base, I go ahead and I add 2 more layers. And these layers are basically just glued on the top side of the layer underneath it. And you'll watch this as it comes together. And it's just that easy. Now that we have the basic shape and form of our lamp, I'm just going to take this whole piece outside and give it a coat of that kind of frosted spray paint by Rust-Oleum. And it's literally that simple. And I cannot wait to show you guys what this looks like at the end. Okay, so my third and final DIY is basically 100% crafting my stash. As you guys know, I make a lot of lamps and I do use a lot of Dollar Tree frames. And this is me trying to find a way to use all that glass that comes from all those frames. So right away you will see me start off. I always stash my glass in those kind of bubble mailers so that they don't break. And I will pick out a size and something that I have enough of to perform this DIY. I will also be using some tumbling tower blocks, and you will see that as this comes together. I start gluing down my tumbling tower blocks, and in this case I am not going to use hot glue because it would not work. I am going to be using E6000, and you can certainly use any other strong adhesive. And I should say this, how I lay my blocks down has nothing to do with any particular pattern. What I'm really just trying to do is create a structural support system that is strong. Ultimately, when I spray paint it, you won't be able to see these blocks. So as you guys are watching me put down these blocks, I want to take a quick second and just say shout out to Joy. Joy from Joyful Designs is one of those people who is on this platform to just bring magic. First off, her crafts are incredible. Second off, the support that I have seen her show myself and other creatives is out of this world. So please, you guys, make sure after you watch this video that you head on over to her channel and see what she's put together. And make sure you subscribe. We're trying to get her to 1,000 and we would really appreciate your help. So once I have my blocks all laid down, I go ahead and I let this cure for about 24 hours. And when I come back, it is sturdy. I was a little bit worried because this is my first time using this technique, but this was pretty dang sturdy. And you guys will see that because obviously I will have to handle it several times, including taking this piece outside so that I can go ahead and spray paint it. The very first thing is I'm going to lay down 2 coats of just plain white matte spray paint. So after those white coats have dried, this is where I get fancy. I had some stencils that I had gotten from Temu, and I really wanted to give one of these a try. Usually I don't mess around with stencils because they can be, stenciling, and sometimes a little bit complicated, but I'm like, I'm gonna try this. So I picked out one that I liked. It's kind of this like 1960s kind of floral pattern, and I go to work. Now it's gonna require me to tape down some of my areas because I'm using 2 different color spray paints for this stencil. So what you'll see me do is tape it down and then go ahead and bust out the yellow spray paint, and then I will spray that part that is the flower using yellow, and then I will tape that part down and then spray my part that is green. Okay, so I think the stencil came out pretty good, but I did come through with one of those fine-tipped white paint pencils, markers if you will, and just kind of do a little touch-up off camera. Lastly, because my inspiration for this piece is again kind of the 60s or something that's kind of old a little bit and worn, I went ahead and did a coat of Mod Podge, but I tinted my Mod Podge with a little bit of Waverly Antique Wax. And this was to kind of give that top coat just a little of that kind of light brown, kind of worn flavor, if you will. And that's it, and you will see how I style this in just a moment. So I just wanted to pipe in and show you guys really quickly how I lit this lamp. I used a lamp base that I bought from Amazon. It was a pack of 6, and look at how this fits perfectly into the bottom of this coaster, and then that gap that I left is perfect for my cord to snake out the back. So again, make sure you guys are buying lamp bases and keeping them on hand if you love to make lamps like I do. Can you believe that all of this stuff was in my stash, just hanging out, waiting for me to bring the magic to it? I cannot believe these pieces. I love them. They are going to be in rotation in our home now. So they basically went from being on my shelf to actually being in use in my home. So yeah, I invite you guys, if you are crafters and DIYers, to look in your stash and see what you've got. And certainly, if you can, craft the Uncle T approved way. Don't go out and buy more stuff. Get up in that stash. I cannot wait to see what Joy has done. I will definitely make sure to link her video in the description box. As always, I thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you. If you have not subscribed, make sure to go ahead and do so. And of course, we invite you to come back, hang out, and be okay with us.